Hello folks, my name is Bo Haddon and I'm the owner of Bravo Kennel. Today's video is going to address some questions and hopefully give you some answers on how to pick a puppy kennel. This is not specifically for my breed, which is the Presa Canario. This would be applicable for a lot of different breeds, but it's especially true for working breeds. We're going to cover a lot of different topics today. Hopefully answer some of your questions, and I have someone here today that's going to help me do that. He's picking up a dog from Bravo Kennel today. He's never seen it before. He's going to see it today for the first time. Robert Perry. Welcome, Robert. How are you?
Thank you. Good, thank you very much.
Where did you come from, Robert?
We come from Greenville, Indiana.
And how long of a drive is that?
12 hours.
So did you have a nice time in Florida?
Yeah, we stayed down here for a couple days. We kind of planned it to where we had a few days down here, but very nice place to be. Very long drive, but I'm sure it'll be worth it. Okay, well, we'll let you be the decide that when you see the puppy.
Okay. Can you share with the public some of your experiences with previous kennels? You've had different breeds, you told me, and you've had some negative experiences which prompted you to want to get a different type of Molosser breed dog. Do you want to explain some of those circumstances with the public?
You know, we've always had large breed dogs. Okay, we've had German Shepherds, dysplasia problems with them. I think it's not being bred right, and I switched from them into a French Mastiff. Breeder come highly recommended, got them off the internet, did not research him as much as I should have, so that was kind of my mistake. Bought the dog, paid the deposit, got the dog, it flew into Louisville International Airport. The dog was 8 weeks old, had good weight to him and everything.
How much did that dog weigh when you first got it? Do you remember?
He weighed 23 pounds, I believe.
Mm-hmm. 8 weeks old?
Yeah. Big head, you know, good looking dog. You know, I noticed when I got him home.
The Doggy Bordeaux, that's the French Mastiff.
French Mastiff, I'm sorry. When I got him home, I started walking him, and I could tell by his heel cocks that something wasn't right with his back end.
Right away.
Right away.
Mm-hmm.
Right away. So we went ahead and took him, and I took him, had x-rays done, and figured out that he was going to be a dysplatic dog.
Oh.
So we knew.
Did you contact the breeder?
Contacted the breeder and told him what was going on, and he didn't bother to give me any of my money back or any help in any way. And still, after all that, we decided to keep the dog because my daughter got used to it, and there was no way I was going to give him back. Couldn't even get my papers out of the guy.
You never got papers on it?
Never got papers on this dog.
So he got paid in full, gave you a dog that was not intact, if you will, because it had health problems, and to top that all off, never give you any support and never even gave you the papers.
No.
So you don't even know if that dog actually truly had papers.
No, I don't. And he was a very good dog. I mean, he was very good with my family, very protective dog. We did put him through a little bit of training just to kind of get him to where we could handle him. Like I say, he was very good with my daughter. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I'd had a good experience with that breed and that breeder,
I wouldn't have met you.
I wouldn't be talking to you right now.
Right.
I would have bought another one. Mm-hmm. And when I started research, you know, Tank was 4 years old and he had cancer in his spleen, which was sporadic. Right. So there was no cure for it.
Right.
So we had to put him down. And I knew that he had about 6 months to a year. I'm like, well, I'm going to start looking at other breeds. So I started investigating the American Bulldogs. I looked at them, and then I come across Presa. And I started reading on them, and they just caught my eye. And
what was it that caught your eye? Did you like the look, or did you like what you were reading about them, or all of the above?
All above. I mean, you know, they
so
are.
what are your expectations and the whole, like, you've always had, it sounds to me like you've always had pedigree dogs.
Yes.
I'm the same way. When you get a pedigree dog, whatever breed it is, there are certain expectations that you are expecting to realize with that breed. Different breeds do different jobs, and we have made the dog specialize in many different areas. So I'm with you on that. So what is it that you expect from a real well-bred Presa Canario?
Size is a big thing with me. I want a dog that is, right in length, height. A big bone dog is what I'm looking for.
Well, the Presa Canario is a Mastiff breed.
Right.
And they should not be confused with an overgrown pit bull.
Right. But what I want a dog that is very protective of my family, but therefore has a little bit of common sense to it, to where it knows a threat.
You want a stable, smart guard dog.
Right.
Which is what the Presa Canario is all about.
Right. And when I started looking at them, I got online again, okay? Like I didn't think I was going to do it. I got online again, I started reading about different breeders and different, what to expect, and what the standards were, how aggressive they could be. And then I come across a couple of breeders that I was interested in. I made some phone calls. I talked to some of them. I looked at some of the pictures, and I was against the other breeders by some of the look of the dogs.
And what was the look that you weren't seeing that you were expecting?
I like big dogs. I like big bone dogs. I don't like a big tall dog. I like a dog short to the ground, but stocky. And some of the Presas that I looked at, they had good length to them. They had good bone on their leg, but it looked like you stuck a Chihuahua's head on a Presa.
Right.
And it wasn't what I wanted. It's like it was missing a part to the dog.
Right.
So when I come across your site, I seen what I like. I made a phone call, and I think one of the big selling points for me is that you were straight up. You had every answer for every question I had instantly, and I told you what I was looking for, and
and I told you I could make that dog for you.
You can make me that dog, and so far what I've seen online and what I've read about you, I can't wait.
You hear your little baby crying for you?
So,
he's calling you.
Yeah.
Well, you did a very good job of explaining what you wanted, and basically what you wanted is the full package, and that's what I deliver here at Bravo Kennel. Anyone that calls themselves a top quality breeder should present no less to their customers.
I encourage everybody, just by experience, do your homework.
So what was your experience like watching the puppy grow up via the internet?
And that was something that I didn't know that I was going to be able to do when I gave you my deposit. I didn't know that I was going to be able to watch my dog physically grow.
And I told you you could
walk me through it.
I mean, you could call anytime you want.
Anytime I called, it was like talking to a friend. It didn't seem like a business deal of any sort. It seemed like a friendly relationship.
I believe I explained everything to you as far as what was going to transpire at what time.
Yep. Step by step.
Do you want to explain to the public about the deposit and what goes along with that here at Bravo Kennel?
Yeah.
And this is something, folks, that's very important. When Robert finishes explaining that, I want to go over with you in some detail what's going on with a lot of people that call themselves kennels, or just taking deposits, not creating dogs, and keeping your money. That is straight out thievery. There is no excuse for that. But anyway, Robert, I'll get back to you on that.
When I contacted Bravo Kennel and I talked to Bo, he told me about his procedures as far as deposits, and basically I gave him my deposit down, and he told me that if he didn't produce the dog that I was looking for, that he would give me my money back, or he would we could go to another litter or something like that later on down the road. So That was a very big thing with me.
Right, or you had the option to choose another dog from that
Yes,
litter if
right.
it was available.
Right.
But basically, the bottom line here is, I didn't earn his money until I made the dog that he asked me for. So I have no right to say anything about what happens with that money until I produce the dog that he asked for. So typically, in one sentence, it's still his money. He has to tell me what to do with his money if I don't produce what he asked me for, but I did.
And he did. I mean, from what I've seen online, he, the pictures that we've talked about, and the videos and stuff that I've watched him. We're going to get what we want here. I can assure you that. And I think as a business owner, talking to people, two things: do your homework. I'm just telling you right now, do your homework. And I think the big thing with me and Bravo Kennel was when Bo told me, when I was told I was looking at other breeders, he didn't try to shy me away from them other breeders. It wasn't like he was trying to push me into doing something that I didn't want to do. But when he told me, good luck with that, I don't need your money, that was a done deal for me. I don't think you can get any more than that. That was honesty, and that was somebody that I wanted to put my trust into. So I wanted to take that chance, and I think that I'm going to be very happy with the chance that I took.
Yeah, I think you will also. Okay, great. At this point, I think we're about ready to bring out the puppy, and then we're going to go over some other questions that people have been asking me, and now we'll use the pup to help us get to those topics.
Okay.
Just give me 1 minute. Okay, Maria. Maria's going to bring Robert's puppy out. This is Dozer. Get his face. Take it, Robert. This is Maria, folks. For those of you that haven't met her before.
Bye.
Okay, gracias, Maria.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you big old boy.
How's his head, Robert?
Oh, yeah.
Is this what you were looking for?
Yes. Yes. Oh, it's awesome.
This puppy right here is really excellent. He's got the length. He's got incredible bone. We're going to weigh him in just a minute in front of all of you, and you'll be, and there he goes. As you can see, he's not fearful, very outgoing, which all puppies should be. But we're going to weigh him in front of you. He's over 28 pounds. Today he's exactly 2 months and 2 days old. This dog will easily make, I can't see this dog not being at least 160 pounds, but that can move. He is really correct right now, and I don't expect that to change. Let me have him for a second.
Yeah.
Look at the chest on this dog. And you see the bone? Now you see how I'm holding him up like this? You see how his paws are hanging straight down, Robert?
Yes.
That's how you test a puppy to see if they're going to be easty-westy or not. You hold them up like this and let their paws hang naturally. Look at how straight and big his behind is in the back. And here's the length. You see how his hocks are hanging straight in the back? I want to show you something really special about this dog here too. If you could zoom in on his bite. I want to show you the bridge in between his two fangs. This right here is exceptionally wide. This is the second time I've produced that. So I'm targeting that now on my breeding program. But here it is. And oh, he's excited. And you can see he's got a perfect scissor bite. You see how wide that is? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Here, take him, Robert. I'm going to put the scale up. He's really having a good time. He's happy as could be. Oh.
Man, he looks like a dozer.
He is. He really is. Okay, Robert.
Ready?
Can you see the scale? Here, I got it. Let me get on that side. What's it say, 28? Can you see it?
28.
Hold on. 28.8, 28.10. He's over 28 pounds. Here, Robert. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, I want to talk to you about breeders. What is a breeder? To me, a breeder is someone that breeds dogs and creates puppies on their own facility. Not someone that has a dog over here or a dog over there and they have no control over what goes on with that puppy and its mother. The nutrition, the cleanliness of the kennel. What was your impression of the cleanliness here, Robert?
Great. Great.
That's very important. Coccidia is rampant in the dog community right now. And one of the main ways that they get it is from feces, from dog manure. That's one of the main ways. I want to talk to you about the health certificates that should be provided with all of these puppies. Health certificates are really important. Here in Florida, it is a law. And if you have a pup from someone in Florida that didn't provide you with a health certificate and you have a problem with that dog, you can get your money back with no problem. If you have to take them to court, you'll get your money back. It's really important to have your dog checked to make sure that it has no parasites. This dog has already been tested and is parasite free. There are parasites that dogs and cats have that are contagious to humans. Two of them right off the bat being roundworm and hookworm. And it's not just like an oh well kind of thing, no big deal. It really is a big deal because roundworms can cause blindness in a young person. So if you have children and you have a puppy that has worms and one of them is roundworm, you're exposing your family to something very bad. Again, with the breeders and the brokers, if you have someone that's got dogs here and there and providing you a puppy from someone that they did not have any control over, they didn't breed themselves, who's going to be responsible if you have a problem with that puppy? Are they going to pass the buck on you and it's everyone else's problem and you're the one that's probably going to end up getting stuck?
He's got some good stance.
That to me is an important issue. Also, regardless of the breed, if it's a foreign breed, are the dogs registered from the country of origin? That to me means a lot. Pedigrees should be presented with the dog. There is no excuse for a puppy to be sold to somebody without their pedigree. And Robert, I have your pedigree right here for you. There you go. You want to show that? Great. These are, yeah, I'll hold that for you. These are basic, mandatory things that should be provided to the customer when they buy a dog. A breeder is supposed to be providing a service, if you will. There's a lot of things that you should be doing for your customer. If they're not being done, you might have a legitimate complaint. There's quite a few people out there that are taking deposits from people and not producing puppies and keeping the money. It does happen that breedings don't work. We're dealing with animals. We're not running a production line for cars or anything like that. These things do happen, but it's up to the person to determine, the customer, what happens with that deposit money. I mentioned this before. You give it back if they want it back. And if they want to apply it to something else, then that's okay. But don't buy a dog from anybody that doesn't have something in writing. Get it in writing that if they don't make the dog that you ask for, that you get your money back. It's very important because there's a lot of that going on. I hear about a lot of that, and there's no excuse for that. Do you have anything else you want to talk about or add to the...
Well, it's like I said before, do your homework. I mean, I've been burned once, so.
Is he long enough for you, Robert?
Yeah, he's perfect length. He's a little biter too. He's a good biter.
Yeah, he likes to express himself that way.
Yeah.
One other thing too, when you talk about people that want, like yourself, you wanted to get the best you could find. Is that right?
I'm bad with everything. I mean, I just am. You know, I always want to try to get the best that I can possibly get. But there again, I don't want to be stupid with my money either.
Right.
You know.
Right. You want it to
I think you get what you pay for.
Right.
Bottom line is.
But it should also have value.
It should. Yes.
Right.
You know, and I think a lot of that value comes with finding somebody that is good as with service too. And you know, like I said, anytime that I called Bo, he went out of his way and spent time with me, educated with me. This is a dog that I've already put a deposit down on, and I've done it just because there was something about our conversations that I trusted him, and you know, he didn't need my money. That was a big deal with me. You know, it wasn't a...
So were all the services provided that you expected?
Services have been excellent here, and I would definitely, without a doubt, buy another one.
Well, thank you very much for that. Thank you.
And you know, I'm not saying that just to be on camera. It's
I appreciate it. This is something that I want to see all breeders do. Folks, most so-called breeders are in and out of breeding dogs within 3 years. That's the average mortality rate for a breeder. What happens to you if you have a problem with the dog and a person had 1 or 2 or 3 breedings, whatever it is, and they're done? What happens to you is nothing. You're just stuck. Now when you start talking about top shelf quality, international, first class, and the best, all these things, people jumping up and down, screaming, I'm the best, come here. Okay, great. So how many champions do you have in your kennel? How many champions do you have in your kennel that you bred? What do we mean by that? I mean that your kennel name is on those dogs' papers. If you have a champion from somebody else as a stud dog or as a brood female, that's fine. But how many champions have you produced with your kennel name on it, not somebody else's? We're talking about you. And how many champions have you produced that have your kennel name on it, and how many best in shows with your kennel name on it? Best in show wins don't count if if you had a dog that was distantly related to that dog, you cannot legitimately make claim to those best in show wins. And anyone that does that, right off the back, is showing you that they're not completely being honest with you. And that's just from the initial contact. What else are they going to be sneaky about? Best in show wins, championship titles cannot legitimately be claimed unless your kennel name is on that dog. I had people at the USA Monographicas that won best in show divisions that were pups from dogs I created. But my kennel name was not on those dogs. I was completely thrilled for them, but I don't make claim to those wins. Those are their wins. They have their own kennel now. These are things that you want to look for and consider. Do they call you back in a timely fashion? Do they have the answers for your question, like what Robert said? Are they knowledgeable? If you're interested in breeding, do they really have the knowledge about how to breed dogs? Or showing. Showing doesn't just mean you take a dog out into the ring and it's a done deal. There's a lot more to it than that. But anyway, folks, I think we're going to wrap this up at this point. I would
like to say one thing.
Oh, sure.
This dog is 2 months and 2 days.
That's right.
So I think it has a lot to dealing with a breeder that the puppies are maintained on a 4-hour basis. Correct?
Yeah, we bottle feed the pups on top of them feeding on their mother as well. We bottle feed our puppies every 4 hours, strictly on the pup. It's very important that the timing is there. Basically what these dogs do is they eat, they sleep, they process the food, and that takes about 4 hours. And then they get fed again and do it all over. But there's also a socializing factor that goes along with that. These puppies are being picked up and held from the day they're born every 4 hours. And every time they get touched by a human, something good happens to them. They're being held, they feel the warmth of Maria, they get fed. That feels good. And then it happens again 4 hours later, and again and again. So the socialization from day one is already starting here with our dogs. There's a big difference between a puppy that's raised in a cage and the mother's thrown dry food and a bowl of water, and I'll see you in 8 weeks when it's time to sell the pups.
All right.
There's a big difference.
He's definitely what I expected. No doubt.
Did he?
Appreciate it.
Oh, good. Glad you're happy. All right, folks, if you have any questions in reference to what we discussed in this video, there is recourse if you've been robbed by somebody that took your deposit money. I'm really very hot about this. I don't like this. This is abuse. And you can complain. Don't keep it a secret. There's an unwritten law that you don't talk bad about other kennels. I understand that, but that's being misinterpreted. If somebody's doing wrong, it needs to be exposed and stopped. If somebody took your money like that, report it. Report it to the people they advertise with. Report it to the people that they advertise that they're part of that club. Report it to your local authorities. Are they licensed with their state to do business, first and foremost? I would call the police and see if they broke the law by robbing your money. Take them to court. Don't just take it like you can do nothing about it. But contacting the people that they advertise with, if they get enough complaints from a certain kennel, they will not be allowed to advertise, and that you could at least stop them from robbing other people. Okay, folks, if you have any other questions pertaining to what we talked about here today or anything else, please feel free to call me at area code 917-453-3226. That's in the USA. And also my website is bravokennel.com. Okay, thanks for visiting. Bye for now.